Hi, I'm DJ. I have successfully been approved to be a cottage food operation in LA. My business does popcorn. We're called Cult Corn. And a few people asked me about the process, so I figured I'd just make this quick video. So first thing's just like kind of if you just want some information and the right information, I got some tips on that. And then if you actually want to go ahead and submit and go through the whole process, I also have some tips. So the first thing is like if you just Google it, you end up at this website. A lot of the information here is a little bit outdated and old. It is where you need to go to actually submit the app. But uh, if this website I found has all of the most up to date information on like the rules, the approved foods, the new legislature, and like laws, and like how much money you can make and that kind of stuff. That's all here, and that's all correct. So start here. This is like the state website, so the state approves the cottage food stuff. And then each county kind of has their own stuff from there. So um, that's kind of where to start. So like on that site, make sure your food, like whatever you want to do, is approved. Class A versus Class B. I did Class B so I could sell into like retail shops, so like coffee shops, wine shops, little grocery stores and stuff. Um, so like that's been really rewarding. I recommend it. I think the only difference is that the health inspection they actually have to come to your house versus Class A where you don't have to do that. So then if you actually want to do the application, you need these three things up front, like just in order to submit the application. So the business and tax registration, that's another one that was a little tricky. It also takes the longest, so I would recommend doing it first. This site is not the right site. I remember ending up here and like being confused. This site is the correct site, and that will take you here. And this is where you start. This one took a few weeks to like get delivered. It like has to come in the mail, I believe. So yeah, just like I would just do that one first. The seller's permit and the food safety course you can do in a day. Like the seller's permit, they just give you a piece of paper. Like they do mail you a piece of paper, but I think you get it online. You do that here. But and then the food handling certification, you just need to make sure you go through approved like ANSI accredited company. I used 123 premierfoodsafety.com. Um, I don't remember what it cost. It's not a ton. But once you get those things, and like I said, business tax registration, that takes a little while to come through. The other two are a day. Like then you can actually go ahead and start the application process, which is here somewhere. Um, yeah, here. So that's when you can do that, and you can see actually right here, like on this first step, you need the business license and the seller's permit. I think the food handler thing comes later, or you might have some time to do it once you get approved. But yeah, I did it as a sole proprietorship, so I did not need to do any of this stuff that says if applicable. You don't need any of that if you're doing a sole proprietorship. Um, so yeah, that was that, and then so like once that app, like you successfully get that one through, then they email you. And then the big thing there for me at least was the labels. Like they have pretty strict labeling requirements. So like the first one I submitted, which is part of this application, by the way, so you do have to have that done. And on that site I showed you, there's all the rules about what you need, but I needed to make some adjustments about some of the ingredients. Like I said, like garlic, and they said like it needs to say garlic powder or something along those lines. So they email me, like they're really quick. The people who like once you're like it's like same day or next day in my experience. And that was going back and forth on the label stuff. But then the next piece that took a long time was like once you get through with them, you pay them. Again, I can't remember the exact dollar amount, maybe like 150 or 160 bucks. And then you have to forward them like the receipt. They get that. Then the next part that takes a little while is the health inspection, scheduling it. So like, the lady got back to me maybe after like a week. We scheduled, she rescheduled. But ultimately when she came, it like couldn't have been easier. Like she comes in, it took less than 5 minutes. She took the temperature of my water, made sure you just need to make sure to have bleach, paper towels, and antibacterial hand soap. You have those things in your kitchen and your water temp is high enough, you're good. And that's it. So yeah, I hope this is helpful. Let me know if you have any questions.